Aion Classic is a MMORPG in which you can choose to play between 8 playable classes, but which classes have the highest DPS in the game. In today's video, you will see which classes have the highest damage and which classes have the lowest damage in the game in general. Let's dive into video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Aion Classic videos in the future. Before we start, I have to say that in today's video I am talking about overall damage of classes, mostly done in PvE, not in PvP. Best classes for PvP video I am preparing for next week, and it's something very different. Also, don't forget, today I will show you my list of highest DPS classes for that early patch notes of Aion, from Aion 1.0, 1.2 and 1.5. Later that list after 1.9 patch note is changing a lot. So keep that on your mind. Okay, let's do this. So on position number 1 I will put 2 classes. And don't be surprised, because those 2 classes are Assassin and Ranger. There is a huge difference between those 2 classes, but both of them can make a really amazing burst of damage in PvE and in PvP. Assassin is a close-ranged physical damage class. It wears leather armor, it uses daggers and swords as weapon, and have stealth abilities. Regarding group gameplay, you will be needed for PvE because of high damage, and for PvP also for same reason. On DPS meter, you will usually be at the top. It's a very good class for PvP against mages like Sorcerer or Spiritmaster, but weaker against plates like Gladiators or Templars. But in early days of Aion Classic, it's even very good class against plates. So in generally, amazing class for PvP. I would say that the only bad side of Assassin class would be combat in the air, flying combat. The only thing bad, right? A Ranger, on the other hand, is a ranged physical damage class, uses bow as a weapon and wears leather armor. This is a DPS class, make no mistake about this. Regarding group gameplay, you will be needed for PvE and for PvP because of your damage. And also just to mention that in my opinion, in group gameplay, you can feel that Ranger is a little bit squishy. But in general, both of these classes, Assassin and Ranger, they belong here on the top of the list regarding DPS. And I know that many of you are maybe now surprised. Wait, you are not mentioning here Sorcerer, for example, or Gladiator. Well, wait a second. I am talking here about Aion 1.0, 1.2 and even 1.5. Time for Sorcerer and Gladiator will come in the future. But for now, Sorcerer and Gladiator are actually not at the peak of their power. They are still not that powerful classes which you are used to in Aion live servers. That's why we are now moving to position number 2, and over there I will also put 2 classes, and here I will put on position number 2 Sorcerer and Spiritmaster. Both magical classes, range classes, but with completely different gameplay. Sorcerer is a ranged magical class, can use spellbook or orb as weapons. It has insane high damage, but also it's really squishy. It wears cloth armor and it is glass cannon kind of class with lots of CC skills. Like I said before, time of the Sorcerer still didn't come. After 1.9 update, Sorcerer will become even stronger, but currently I will put Sorcerer here together with Spiritmaster on position number 2. Also, Spiritmaster is here, overall looking one of the most powerful classes of Aion. Specific thing about this class is that it can summon and control the spirits formed of natural elements. Many people are calling a Spiritmaster a broken class. To some point, I agree. It's simply too powerful when you look general gameplay, especially in 1 versus 1. However, that thing about Spiritmaster being so powerful, they call it a broken class, still doesn't show that much at Aion 1.0. 1.2 also so-so. Little bit later, yes, you will see that Spiritmaster is becoming so strong that one person on equal gear against, let's say, 3 or 4 other players, one Spiritmaster can beat other 3 or 4 classes, other characters, without any kind of problem. So then you understand what kind of power we are talking about here. However, like I said, currently on the position number 1, that position belongs completely to Assassin and Ranger, much more than to Sorcerer and Spiritmaster. And I have actually already mentioned 4 classes until now, and I didn't mention Gladiator regarding damage. You would say, come on, Gladiator is one of the highest DPS classes of Aion. Yes, it is. However, not now. At this point in time, Gladiator still doesn't feel so powerful. That's why on the position number 3, I will put 2 warriors. I will put a Gladiator and Templar. Don't be surprised by that, like I said, because Gladiator will become extremely high DPS class in later patch notes. But in those early days, it's just decent damage class. So Gladiator is a close range damage dealing class with lots of AoE skills. It wears plate armor, but you can also wear other types of armor. Main weapon are polyarm or greatsword, but I have also played Gladiator with dual weapons like swords or daggers combination, or even double maces for dual wielding. As a Gladiator, you will need extendable weapon. That is important to say. But even with this extendable weapon, at this point in time, Aion 1.0, you can't really feel that true power of Gladiator. You will be able to feel that little bit later. Templar is a main tank of Aion Classic, melee class, also wear plate armor like Gladiator and can use a shield. In the endgame is one of the best PvP classes, but that's another story for the next week video. So Templar, when we are talking about PvP, something absolutely amazing. In the endgame, Templar, which is fully geared, can kill basically any other class. It's unbeatable. But that's Aion 1.0, that's Templar in PvP. Regarding PvE damage, Templar is far from highest DPS. But like I said, with high-end gear, Templar can be really amazing. So both of these classes need extendable weapons like a mandatory thing. Also important to say. And on the position number 4, there is no actually surprise here. I will put Cleric and Chanter because, well, you probably know that Cleric is a main healing class. It wears a chain armor. You will be needed for PvE and for PvP group gameplay because people need heal for your group, right? Not because of your damage. Nobody will play damage Cleric. You can play Cleric on damage setup, but I would say that at this point in time, that damage setup is still not that powerful. So Cleric can survive a long time if you play 1 versus 1 PvP, for example. However, that burst of damage, no. Cleric doesn't have it in Aion 1.0. Later it will become much stronger, but not for now. Chanter. Regarding the Chanter, that's a kind of funny story about this class. Chanter is absolutely one of the most powerful classes of Aion in general, but not for now. It's a little too early. Right now, Chanter feels really, I wouldn't say weak, but it's a support class. Also, it can heal, but not as much as Cleric, so people will not invite that much Chanter into group because of heal. However, they will invite Chanter for mantras, for support. It's really amazing class. It wears also chain armor. It's a support class, like I said, but only that for now. It will be something amazing in PvP little bit later, after 1.9, actually even more later. Damage of this class in PvE in general is not so high right now in Aion 1.0, so if you are looking for high damage class regarding PvE, Chanter is not a class for you. But like I said, later many classes will shift, will move up on that ranking list of DPS classes, and changes will happen with later patch notes. For now, Chanter is not that high. So as you can see here on the ranking list, we have actually pretty interesting situation. So 5 best DPS classes of Aion 1.0, 1.2 and 1.5 are Ranger, Assassin, Sorcerer, Spiritmaster, and when I would need to say like 5th class, probably, yeah, I would put Gladiator on that list in generally. However, this is the list for now. Ranger, Assassin feel really strong. Sorcerer, Spiritmaster have high damage, still are not strong as they will be in the future. Time of the Gladiator is coming. It will become one of the OP classes, one of the most powerful classes in Aion in generally. And regarding the Chanter, it will be something really amazing soon after some patch notes. Cleric, still what it is. It's a healing class, you know. And later you will be able to play with Cleric also PvP. It will be amazing. It will be very hard to kill Cleric 1 versus 1. However, for now, not so strong. Templar, regarding PvP, like I said, in endgame, fully gear Templar is something really amazing. I will talk about that a little bit later, actually, in the next week video, where I am preparing video regarding the best classes for PvP of Aion Classic. So you will hear more about PvP classes in that video. And regarding the classes in general, if you're interested regarding the classes details, I have already made a guide like a few weeks back how to pick your class. Check it on my YouTube channel. There you will find details about each class. Today I was talking mostly about general damage, DPS, which classes, different classes can develop inside the game in that early patch notes, Aion 1.0, 1.2 and 1.5. And as you can see, situation is pretty different from what we know from live servers of Aion during the years with new updates, new patch notes. That balance regarding damage is shifting, but it's always important to understand that in Aion it's really important to have high gear, that end game gear. And if your class, your character have that high end game gear, you can be amazing damage in generally, whatever class you play. Also, it's important to say you need to know how to play your class. Of course, skill does matter, especially in these early days of Aion. Later, let's say after Aion 5.0, then gear is more important than skill. And later, it doesn't matter, let's say Aion 7.0, even if you have highly geared character and you don't know how to play it, somebody else who will come, who knows how to play it with low end gear, well, you will win because you have very nice gear, right? Gear is more important in later updates of Aion. However, in these early updates of Aion, skill is important more than gear. And of course, if you have additionally to that a really nice gear, then classes like Assassin, Ranger, Sorcerer, Spiritmaster can be something really amazing. Additionally, like I said, Gladiator and Templar with extendable weapons can really achieve something, especially in PvP, but it's too early to talk about Gladiator and Spiritmaster at this point in time. Also regarding the Chanter. Let me know in the comments below video which class did you decide to play as your main class in Aion Classic. How do you like so far to play Aion Classic? Because as you probably know, game was released in North America for a while now, for a few days. And let me know in the comments below video which class you play, how do you like it so far, and how do you like Aion Classic so far. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Aion Classic videos in the future. See you soon.